Well, hello to all our listeners for Radio Entrepreneurs. My name again is Jeffrey Davis, and we continue to stream stories every day on entrepreneurship and how all these entrepreneurs are dealing with this economy and adapting as we go. Our next guest, Bill Berutti, CEO of Plex Systems. Welcome, Bill.
Hey, Jeffrey, thanks for having me.
So, why don't you tell our listeners what Plex Systems is and what it's all about?
Sure. Plex Systems is a cloud-based software provider, 100% focused on providing smart manufacturing solutions to manufacturing companies. That's all we do. Our solutions help improve operational metrics like production output levels, quality, inventory turns, and really using the power of modern technology to provide human information in combination with production schedule, machine information, sensor data, leveraging all in the cloud to help manufacturers run more efficiently.
Wow. So, how long have you been in business?
Company's been around for just over 20 years, and I joined the company about 2.5 years ago.
Give us a little bit of the history, get into the Wayback Machine.
Yeah. So the company's got a great history. It actually was founded by engineers and IT professionals that worked for a manufacturing company that were really frustrated by the fact that information was hard to get a hold of. It was in spreadsheets, it was in different systems, it might even be paper-based. And they were investing in all these smart machines on their shop floor that were spewing out tremendous amounts of data that nobody could take advantage of. And hence Plex was born. They decided to build a technology really to benefit their own company. And then it turned into the company that it is today, a fast growing, vibrant company called Plex.
Wow. And what were you doing before you were at Plex that ended you up
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, I've been in enterprise software most of my career, but I actually started out when I graduated from Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. I started out working for a Midwest manufacturer, and so I really, started out in the manufacturing world, and then got enamored by technology and moved on to PTC, a Boston-based company. Spent a long time there, and then went on to BMC, an IT infrastructure company. And then, kind of came full circle back to manufacturing, joining Plex 2.5 years ago, really because I was so excited about bringing the power of cloud-based solutions to the manufacturing shop floor to drive efficiency and quality improvements.
That's great. Is it a very competitive marketplace that you're in?
It's an interesting market, Jeffrey. Manufacturers have needed solutions to help optimize their operations, forever, whether that was paper, spreadsheets, homegrown solutions, et cetera. Our competition tends to be homegrown solutions, paper-based processes, and in some cases, legacy software providers. But what makes us really different is the fact that we have a complete solution to run a manufacturing operation based on a cloud application. And because no disrespect to manufacturers, but to some degree, they've been laggards in adopting modern technology in the cloud. We've been in a unique position by being the only true cloud provider of manufacturing operation solutions. And so we tend to be replacing, again, paper-based solutions or legacy products, whether they're homegrown or commercial-based, but don't leverage the power of the cloud.
That's interesting. And give us a sense, is there a particular target market psychographic that you're looking to address, and how does that work?
Yeah, it's fairly broad. We address only manufacturing, so by definition, that's a specific market. But we address all verticals. We address automotive, aerospace, medical, food and beverage, plastics, rubbers. Any really manufactured product is an addressable market for us. And we serve all different kinds of companies, but we tend to serve a lot of disruptors as well. For instance, Beyond Meat's a customer where we're helping them optimize their supply chain. A new company called DrinkWorks, which is a joint venture between Anheuser InBev and Keurig Dr. Pepper to provide at-home cocktail machines, is a customer. Georgia Pacific's a customer in the division that's producing fully recyclable envelopes. That plastic blue and white envelope you get from Amazon? Well, they're creating a whole new paper-based envelope to replace that's 100% recyclable. So we really operate in all verticals, and including companies that have been around for a long time, and then companies that are really disrupting the market. I'll give you one more example. There's a new company called Aurora Technologies. They're based on the West Coast. They've come out of places like Google, and they bought the Uber self-driving car business, and they're revolutionizing LiDAR technology to be applied to self-driving cars and trucks. In fact, they just announced a relationship with PACCAR where they're going to deliver the first semi-level self-driving autonomous vehicle. And it's companies like that that really need to optimize the way they produce things, because they're disrupting a market and they need technology that's going to help them do that.
Wow. Wow. So let's roll ahead a little bit. What do you see the technology changing in the next 24 months?
Yeah, I think, first of all, as I mentioned earlier, manufacturers do amazing things and they care about squeezing, every bit of efficiency out of everything they can, but they were a little bit slow to get to the cloud. And what's interesting is that as horrible as the COVID crisis has been, one thing that it has done is shined a really bright hot light on the fact that the cloud and modern technology can help you run a business when you need to pivot. And so our customers benefited from that. They were able to send their workforces home very quickly, have essential workers stay, non-essential workers go home, and everybody be able to work together. And those that were working from home to be able to see real-time insights into the plant operations. So what that's meant for Plex is that all of a sudden, what we do is so much more important to the rest of the world that isn't already a Plex customer. And we think that'll continue. The adoption of modern technology and really cloud technology to address manufacturers' needs. Now, in addition to that, there's a lot of other trends that are benefiting Plex and that we think are going to be a big part of manufacturers' journeys in the future. One is we need to continue to optimize technology to take advantage of a modern workforce. The manufacturing industry, like many others, has a huge portion of its population of workers retiring in the next 10 years. And the new workers expect more modern technology to be able to facilitate their job. And Plex is a part of helping be an attractive, really onboarding experience for those younger modern workers. And then secondly, this explosion of digital technology, including the shop floor, where you've got robots often called cobots working alongside of humans. You've got machines that are generating production information about their status, health, and whether or not they might fail in real time. All of that information needs somewhere to go to be used in context of what workers available to fix the machine. When is the production schedule able to be brought down to do a repair? Well, Plex is the place where all that information can come together and be leverageable. So we believe that manufacturers are going to really adopt more modern technology in the next 10 years to address those kind of needs. And then one final point, whether it's COVID or just the realization that when things go wrong, supply chains break, we think is going to have a big impact on manufacturing. For instance, when countries began to shut down around the world, supply chains fell apart. And that's why you saw, whether it's automobiles or appliances for your home or whatever it might be, become disrupted, and even manufacturers that had orders couldn't deliver because key parts were stranded in different parts.
Paper towels.
Right. So what's happening in our customers is a complete rethink of, okay, it's not just about I want to make everything in North America or I want to make everything in Europe or become, too geocentric. It's about the need to be close to wherever your customers are. And so rather than have a single threaded source of supply in one country where you have a dependency that really puts your business at risk, we're seeing our customers look for really distributing their supply around the world so that it's close to the source of demand. Because that little bit of money you save by having one supplier, in one place in a low-cost region really doesn't pay for itself when you can't get that source of supply. And so that's a big trend we think will occur, and technology is needed to support that. Because now if I have multiple supply sources around the world, I have to understand what their source of supply capability is in real time at any moment to be able to move that around the world as demand necessitates.
My last question really is, because I went backwards and then I went forwards, and I'm going to come current. The business practices internally, organizationally, you had to adapt to during COVID?
Yeah, it was really interesting, Jeffrey. Obviously, COVID had an immediate and swift impact on people. I'm really proud of us and our customers. At Plex, we were fortunate because we're a cloud-based solution, and so we provide software as a service. we were able to send everybody to work from home right away without any interruption to our productivity or our ability to support our customers. And obviously that was really important. Now, it had other interesting impacts on us. Our salespeople are very used to traveling around the planet and touring our customers' facilities, particularly shop floors, to understand how they work and where we can create efficiencies. Well, they couldn't do that anymore. So we had to do some interesting things. We got into the practice of sending GoPros to our customers, or even a robot that holds an iPad and it has a gyroscope and can be driven remotely from halfway around the world to do a tour of a plant. And so we learned how to sell in a remote basis. We also learned how to service. We did dozens of customer go lives in the last year where we never stepped foot on the shop floor of a customer's factory, which is unique for us, right? We're used to going in and getting our hands dirty and working with the customer, and we had to do it remotely. And then finally, we were really, really proud of our customers. Not only did they learn to work in this environment to create all the essential products that the world needs to survive and thrive, and that's what our customers do. They make the food and the physical products that we all depend on every day. And they learned how to work in the midst of COVID, but they also learned how to support the crisis. We had dozens of customers that within weeks pivoted to make critical supplies, PPE, ventilators, things that were necessary to support the medical workers. Bless you, Jeffrey.
Thank you.
And so we were really proud of how our customers leveraged technology to be able to pivot quickly to make the things that people needed to get through this crisis.
Well, obviously a very compelling story. We've been speaking with Bill Berutti, CEO of Plex Systems. Bill, if someone wants to connect with you and Plex Systems, how would they find you?
Well, the best way to find us is at plex.com. And if anybody wants to speak to me personally, you're welcome to reach out to me. It's bberutti@plex.com, BBERUTTI.
Well, you're very informative, and we look forward to talking to you again. And you're joining the Radio Entrepreneurs Network. So I want to wish you well, Bill, and that was very helpful.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Remind everyone, this is Radio Entrepreneurs.